Crit and Miss Out of the Abyss is a Dungeons & Dragons actual play livestream and is recommended for mature audiences. It may contain coarse language, adult humor, descriptions of graphic violence, horror themes, supernatural themes, Aussie slang, and more fun stuff. And we are back with Crit and Miss Out of the Abyss, and all I have to say to you beautiful people who are watching or listening at home is... Oh, did you catch that, or did I just knock the microphone too many times?
No, it just didn't come through.
Oh, it didn't come through. That's unfortunate. That was the beautiful sound of me cracking open a Kraken black spice rum and dry that my girlfriend got for me for no apparent reason the other day. I thank a lot of people for supporting us, supporting the channel and being part of the Critverse, but the one person I do not thank enough, of course, is my girlfriend, who looks after the kids while I'm streaming and somehow puts up with me spending 99% of my time in here preparing for campaigns and doing all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much to my girlfriend Bridie, who's never going to see or hear this because she doesn't watch any of my streams. But thank you nonetheless. We are back with the next part of Out of the Abyss. I am joined again all by your favourite adventurers and your favourite players, and also Toby. And I think during the break, the people were discussing what's going to be the best course of action moving forward. Do they want to try and make a makeshift raft and travel over the water via the Dark Lake, or are they going to continue on overland by foot, which is what they've been doing in the past? And I think we've come to a reasonable conclusion, guys. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we're level 3, so let's just walk.
Level 3? Alright.
Yep.
Okay.
No range. Go for it.
Alright. And,
something I forgot to run by Rami. We have to make a decision on what to do with Glabagul now. My suggestion is Patch wants to try and free him from the influence of the demon by killing the demon. And anyone who would oppose that suggestion, Patch would suggest that Glabagul would also make a really good compass for finding said demon, since he seems to be being summoned towards it.
And if I might make a counterpoint, of course, I applaud you for your goodwill towards Glabagul. It takes a special sort of person to take sympathy on a creature such as a gelatinous cube. You're a better man than most, Patch, but do keep in mind that not everyone here in the Underdark will look too kindly upon a gelatinous cube. If you're, of course, wanting to travel to Gracklestug and via Gracklestug to Neverlight Grove, it could cause some issues. But do keep that in mind.
We amended our travel plans because seems we've been mistaken as to where we were heading. We're heading to Flugladop. Do you know of Flugladop?
Yes. Stubbeladop is on the Dark Lake. As I said, Stubbeladop is the best place to find passage across the Dark Lake. The Kuatoa people there have plied their trade upon the Dark Lake as guides and raftsmen for a very long time, and no one is as experienced as they are. Of course, I will. That does come with a caveat. The Kuatoa are known to be a little bit unhinged. You see, the Kuatoa people were slaves and had their minds twisted for quite a long time before they finally won their freedom, and they still devote themselves to dark and strange gods. So they can be difficult to work with, but if you find them on a good day, then you can book passage with them, and it is the best way to travel through the Underdark safely.
And so, with the walking, the Slubladop, there's the other town that the name I'm still not getting yet.
Gracklestug and Neverlight.
Alright, so is the idea that we will go to Slubladop or Gracklestug to then get passage. But what's the point of Gracklestug? We
You
go to
cannot.
either or.
You can't get to Neverlight Grove via the Dark Lake. It's not connected to the Dark Lake. Gracklestug is your closest place. And it's also
so we'd go
closest
up
thing.
the Dark Lake to Gracklestug, and then from there to the Neverlight Grove.
That's right, and it's the closest thing to civilization in the Underdark, apart from obviously Menza Berenzan, which you probably definitely don't want to go to. So,
alright, so if we go overland to Slubladop, and we can get passage from there to Gracklestug,
yes.
and then we go from there to... Alright, so...
And then it would be easy to find Neverlight Grove from Gracklestug.
Okay, well I think that sounds like a reasonable plan.
Okay, and I can show you, of course, which way you wish to go. You just need to, if you head in that direction, if you take a left, heading towards the northwest, if you try to stay parallel to this body of water, I think in time you will find naturally that the cave will probably have a bit of a downward slope, and will eventually lead you to the shores of the Dark Lake and to Slubladop itself.
Okay, thank you. Did someone take note of those directions? Because it's like left and then north something.
Yeah, basically heading out towards the north and just taking a left, and you basically you're heading on the way to the Dark Lake. So is that what you guys do?
Over the lake.
I think so. So just final call on Glabagor. What are we gonna do there? We may need to part ways with him before a town, and taking passage. They might not take him.
I mean, this is probably an odd question, but
I love odd questions.
So, hear me out.
Yes.
Alright, so let me get this straight.
Okay.
You want to dress up Glabagor with a fake mustache and a hat, right?
By the way,
No.
now hear me out. Needs to go on a shirt.
So this is the way I'm thinking in my dumb little fairy force brain. You know the eyes, right?
Okay.
They're kind of small compared to the rest of Glabagor's body. So, my thinking is, if we just cut Glabagor into like a bite-sized Glabagor, he's much easier to hide. And if he goes all commando on us, then he's much easier to kill. But he's still Glabagor. If we just give him a haircut, he's going to be much easier to transport. And he's not really going to be hurt if we just like cut him down to like his eyes. So he's just like a little cylindrical
Sure about
fish
that?
tank.
Perhaps we ask
You know-
Glabagor if he's able to shrink himself before we start hacking into him.
Yes, but do we get where I'm going with this?
Yes, I get where
mean-
you're going, and I will tell you this: a gelatinous cube is definitely damaged by cutting.
Yeah.
Damn it!
No.
It's you're basically saying, "Hey, let's take a jellyfish, but I don't want the whole jellyfish. I just want a little
Just
bit
want
of
a
it,
little bit inside of
Take
it
a
and
little
cut that
bit of
bit
it.
out.
and we're gonna take that, and it's gonna be fine."
Basically,
So
cut
we
out its
can't
brain.
We can't just Walt Disney Glabagor. I mean, you're a druid. Do you frost? Can we just Walt Disney Glabagor and then come back for him when we feel so moved?
Only Frostbell I got his ice knife.
Yeah, stab him with the ice knife and
Right,
make him
no.
go like a
No.
slushy.
Look, Patch
Okay.
might ask Glabagor if there's any way he can make himself significantly smaller when we get to towns, because some people might not understand that he's friendly.
There he is. I love Glabagor.
He's so cool.
No, he looks towards you, and you see him go smaller, and you see him like move around, and his shape sort of changes a little bit. Like he flattens out, he gets like taller, he gets wider, and he's like, no.
So you couldn't maybe, and then I'll like point to my backpack, fit in here?
he looks at your backpack and he's like, I could try.
If you're
Hang
not
on.
confident,
I'm looking up scientific backing for this because I have a theory, a film theory. He's a plasma, so he should be able to he's a liquid, but he should be able to occupy whatever space he wants.
well, yes, but he still has.
Theoretically.
If he can't reduce his
Mass.
volume, or his mass, then he's going to take up more space than is available. Fill that space, and then probably.
So,
blow it.
yeah.
Oh, there's a duffel bag in here.
Technically,
Find a duffel bag.
he
somewhere.
takes up a 10 by 10 foot cube, and he cannot be compressed. So he can't get smaller. He can alter his general shape somewhat, but he cannot be compressed at all, which means he can't fit in a space that's any smaller. He can be squeezed, so that if you squeeze the outside of him, he goes from being 10 foot wide to being 15 foot wide, but just thinner. He can do that, but you can't compress him into a smaller sort of bit. So, yeah.
Okay. So Ash will turn to Magic Man. She'll be like, Magic Man, can you shrink with your magic woo-woo powers? I don't know how this stuff works. Can you just shrink our friend over here? You know, make him bite-sized.
And while you guys
Who are
are
you
sort
talking
of discussing what you guys want
Who's
to
Magic
do,
Man? Me.
No, why?
Why?
Is Magic Man?
Oh, you're talking to why? Yeah, he looks up
Why
and
is Magic Man?
he says to you, "Oh, just give me one moment while I have a look at my monster stat block so I can see what spells I can."
That's hilarious.
No, I apologize. Unfortunately, I do not have anything. I have the ability to make him even more invisible than he is at the moment, but this is the best thing that I can do for you, and unfortunately it will not last for very long. But this is something that perhaps you can, and he looks towards you, Lady Aethera, perhaps this is something that you can do also. Can you use invisibility?
Yeah, but I don't have my spell book, and I don't have it prepared, because I'm quite weak after my whole ordeal with being captured.
It is unfortunate, yes. The Drow, they quite often take away anything that is written. The written words they confiscate from all of their slaves, unfortunately. But I can tell you this, that whoever took it from you probably still has it.
Yeah, apparently they take jewelry as well.
Now, jewelry is a different matter. I've never heard of any of the Drow being particularly interested in any sort of jewelry. For the most part, it is frowned upon for the Drow to adorn themselves with jewelry from the outside world, so to speak. Anything that is not in favor of their Spider Queen, they like to call her, is frowned upon.
Well, that's interesting, considering that one scary bitch was very interested in my necklace. My mother's necklace. I'm not sure why. I took it off me. We had a good fight that I lost, unfortunately.
You
and then she
lost
took
a
it off
fight, Thrash? No, I don't
we don't
believe
talk
it.
about that.
Okay.
I don't think it was much of a fight.
It was a brief scuffle, and it's not a fight because it's on pause. And the minute I see her again, I'm going to ground her up into tiny chunks and feed her to a dog.
If I'm not mistaken, last time you had your axe, you were on your ass the first couple of rounds of that fight, so...
Well, you know what? You know what? I never asked for your opinion. Thank you very much.
It's okay, Thrash. If you grind him up into dog meat, I'm sure Bark will happily eat it.
Hey, he's on my side. And that was a different story. I've never fought one of those black oozy things. I kill people, not slime. No offense, Clavicle.
I think Clavicle will be quite happy to hear that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I for one, hope that perhaps you can make an exception for the Demon Lord Jewiblex if it is indeed true that he is here in the Underdark. It would very much be grateful if you could do away with such a terrible thing, or at least help us.
I think that's the plan, but we need to go to the surface to get help because we don't know the people here to raise an army.
I will do what I can, and will continue my research, and I will do my best to stay in contact. And I will let my associates know of you also, so that if they come across you, just let them know that you are friends of Y, and they will help you whatever they can. As for your friend Glabagul, if it is going to be a problem that he continues on with you, then I could extend my hospitality to him. I could use him for my research. Perhaps his connection to this demon lord could be exploited one way or another. But it's just entirely up to you and entirely up to your friend Glabagul.
Would you promise not to hurt him?
You have my words as a member of the
genuine?
Society of Brilliance that I will not seek any harm to Glabagul or allow harm to become to him. Make an insight check if you wish.
Oops, wrong button. That was investigation. My insight's way. Can I keep the roll and just have my insight modifier?
Yeah,
instead?
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, so
just because it works for you. Because I'm sure if it wasn't a good roll, you'd be like, no, I've got to re-roll it. 22, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both fairly certain that he is being genuine.
Okay.
He explains to you that the Society of Brilliance is comprised of a whole variety of races that are otherwise thought of being uncivilized, as it were, and that he himself was actually a slave to the Drow before he was found by another member of the Society of Brilliance, whose name I would have to look up real quick.
So what are a society full of what? Different
races.
Races, alright, yeah.
What do you think I think?
There's a society full of different races. I was like, oh God,
A society of various different races. You have some neo-Nazis, that kind of thing. Some KKK members. Just all kinds of racists. Just a happy bunch of racists. What's wrong with that?
Make the world a better place.
They do. Oh God! Speaking of racists, my girlfriend likes to walk up Castle Hill, as so many people do here in Townsville, for a bit of exercise. And for 3 weeks in a row now, she's come across one. It's like a signpost that's had like a neo-Nazi sticker stuck to it. She's posted it up on Instagram. It's got like thousands of views, and it's ridiculous. She keeps going back there, and there's like another sticker every single time. She keeps ripping them off, and they keep coming back. Y will explain to you guys. There's him. He's a Darrow, obviously, which is generally speaking, they're known as being a little bit mad, a little bit out of their minds. There is a let me have a look real quick. There is an Orog, Blurg. There's a Mind Flayer called Grazalax. There's a Troglodyte called Skris. And there's a Kuotoa called Sloopy Doop.
Nice.
That's comprised the Society of Brilliance.
Excellent. Someone wrote that down, right?
You like that?
Yeah. Sloopy Doop.
Great.
Yeah.
You part of that.
That is the most made-up name. I love it.
All names are made up.
Yeah.
If you like that, Grace, you wait till you get to Sloobladot. It's going to be a nightmare for me, and it's going to be absolute gold for you guys.
Have you
Speaking
just
of getting
got
to
one of
Sloobladot.
those name generators, and you've got all of these like Sloopy Floopy Doopy, and
I
you
think-
got them on like a wheel, and they just spin, and then you just take whatever random combination of Sloopy, Doopy, and Shoopy that you can possibly
No, I've got
amalgamate.
the actual characters right in front of me. Blurg,
Yeah.
a Y,
Oh my
Blurg,
God,
Grazalax,
they
Gris, and Sloopadoop.
Yeah, these are probably in the campaign. Yeah.
Someone woke up one day and was like, I need to name this creature. What shall I call it? Oh, yes, Sloopy Doop. What a terrific and very strong name for this very strong character.
So yeah, there's that. All right, so heading overlands.
Well, is Y coming with us, or is he leaving us at this point?
He is going to leave you guys. He's going to stay here. He wants to
Okay,
do more
so-
research into this cabin.
Might just see what brain globby dude.
Glabagoo.
Glabagoo, that's him. Yeah.
is Glabagoo, you asshole.
Hey, me.
Write it down.
I wasn't speaking in
Normally I
character.
would,
There's
but-
no voice. So I might just to shorten it up so we can get moving.
He's gotten to his
summarize.
teenage phase now.
I might just summarize and just maybe I'll talk to him about perhaps going with Y, that him and his friends, which would be more friends for Glabagul, are probably better suited to help him learn than we are, traveling through the Underdark like we are, and that he can trust Y. Y's promised to protect him and keep him safe. Just because it might be difficult to have him come through the places we have to go
He sort of
without coming to harm. We
looks
don't
at
want
you
him to
with his
get hurt.
disembodied eyes, and he's like, "Will I see you again?"
Yes, definitely. We're going to try and get some help to help the people and to help Y. So we'll be meeting back up with Y. So we'll see you again then.
Friends.
I'm not sure how long it will be, but we will see you again, friend. Yes.
I will help. Why?
Wonderful. And Y will help you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Glabagul. See you in the future.
And you guys depart, leaving Y behind. And as you're leaving in this dim glow of this Phaserus-induced cavern, you look back one last time, and you can see the light diffused through Glabagul's body, and you can see his eyes just creepily staring at you as you're walking away.
I'll
Alright.
wave over my shoulder as we leave.
Okay. Let's have a look at
Super
that.
action-packed D&D.
Yeah, it's
We're finally getting off the first screen.
it's been a roleplay heavy night tonight, guys.
Oh, it's
but,
good though.
sometimes
I
that's
like
fun. Some people like that. I like that. I like voicing different characters. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's
I
go.
don't know. I'm itching to thwack something today, so
Oh, we're going over land, so I feel like your chances are good.
that's good.
All right.
I don't
Hopefully
think
that
we'll be
loads.
particularly stealthy.
It's not loading.
Oh no.
That's also not loading. Okay. We've spent so long on one map that it's now not allowing me to load the next map up. Remember what I said earlier? I put that post up on Facebook. Nothing shits me off more than when free software doesn't do exactly what it's supposed to do. Now's that situation. Bear with me while I load that up. Do a little bit of roleplay while I do that.
So I guess we're just like walking down the trail and stuff then. Wherever we're headed. Cruising along.
I
Patch
mean,
is
do we
still.
want to give Patch the book?
No one here knows about the book.
Yeah, there is
I
the
thought
only
you
one.
knew about the book.
Yeah,
but
no one else knows about
There is
the
the
book.
only one. Yeah.
Great.
So,
So, Patch is
that's
never
in-
going to get the book.
Well, that's
Sort of.
that's entirely up to how Lady Aethera behaves with said book.
I think
It's my spell book.
yeah, it's your spell book now, so you're never getting that unless I kill her.
Well,
You
know,
and what army?
The one I'm about to throw at you.
if I had
Yeah.
pretense, I might ask Aethera to maybe teach me spell, but I don't really want to take on with because my int's only 14.
All right, I finally got my notes back up.
Oh,
All
I
right.
do have an idea for that in a couple of levels. We'll talk
So-
about this in a couple of months.
You guys begin to travel,
Can't do that.
heading in the direction that Y sort of pointed you. You head north for a little bit, and then the cavern sort of turns towards the left, towards the northwest, as it were, running sort of perpendicular towards that body of water that you guys sort of came out of in the previous episode. And as you travel for a while, you kind of get the distinct feeling that you're walking on a very, very slight incline. You're walking for a number of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours or something like that. Let's talk about party order. Who is where while I find paper?
I don't mind being up front because I've got 120 dark vision, so I can see into the mists.
I have 300-foot dark vision, but I don't want to be at the front.
I
So-
have 60-foot dark vision.
We're happy to let the tank Aethera up front.
Yeah, I'll be behind her.
Yeah.
You're-
She can go up front.
You're all heroes.
I mean,
I can know.
Just-
You've
just-
been so
just-
good this
just-
entire campaign.
I'm just gonna say that just because someone is in front of another person doesn't mean that the person behind them wouldn't be able to look past them and still use the full extent of the range of their vision. So perhaps we have our big tanky people, Thrash and Korax, at front and back. We have
What do you mean?
Aethera-
I'm an off tank. I don't get hit.
Aethera's
Yeah,
up
She's a
front.
tank.
Fair. Alright, Aethera's up front.
Aethera is buff. She's like sneaky buff.
Patch
She's
and
taken
Bark
like
will be
less
it.
hits than Thrash this entire time.
I guess. Yeah, Patch and Bark will be maybe right at the back, but maybe not right at the back, like second last. If
All
we
right.
can manage that.
Um, I also completely forgot to role play Jim Jar because he's there with you guys, but he
Oh,
was so
God.
tired. He was sleeping.
Yeah, he was just KO'd the
He
whole
was
time.
sleeping the entire time. He was so
Sleeping.
tired. After he got hit in the butthole by that
Yeah.
slime earlier on, it just really took it out of him, and he just doesn't want to talk about it. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
all right. So I've got Aethera, then Korax and Jim Jar, then Patch and Bark, and then Thrash.
Sounds good.
As you guys are moving along, and Aethera, like I said, you sort of get this distinct feeling that you're traveling on like a I wrote an incline, but it's not an incline, it's a decline. It's very slightly just walking downwards, which is sort of aiding your travel a little bit. As you're walking along through the just pitch blackness of these labyrinthine tunnels, and they widen out and they thin out to 5 feet and widen out every now and then, but eventually all of a sudden you find that your foot sinks down into the ground, into this like bog-like slime or mud, as it were, and you look up and you find yourself looking into a cavern that opens up before you. But obscuring your vision is what seems like a never-ending maze of bog-like terrain, like an underground swamp, tree-sized mushrooms that dominate the chamber. Let me just go ahead and put you guys over there, and you can see this
Ooh.
sprouting through thick layers of shambling vegetation and dark murky water filled with floating detritus that's covered in like layers of odorous organic material. what do you do?
Well, I'm going to have a look at this water, see if it is any good to drink, and then ask my friends if it is also good to drink and see if we can harvest some of these massive mushrooms for some food.
Alright, I don't even need a roll for this. You poke something into the water, and as you do so, it just like all these mosquitoes just like sort of burst out of the water, and they're like buzzing around. It's bloody awful. At this point, it's sort of like you sort of start them away, and you look down, you can see the water is it's filled with like this thick underwater just like bog, essentially. It's not clean water.
Patch would walk over and say, I can't do anything with it now, but tomorrow I make all of this clean. But I can also just make water and give you berries.
Alright. Sounds good.
I'm gonna throw out, just like sort of standing a little bit closer to the water, just throw out a divine sense and see if I get anything.
Alright, talk to me about divine
60 feet.
sense. What do you get?
Yes, so as an action to the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover.
You don't sense any of those things, but you do sense that there's a fee for going through here. There's a guy in a little toll booth, and there's like a little one of those little toll booth bars that comes down, and he's like, mate, that's gonna be $10. You want to cross through here? No, that doesn't happen. But no, there's no celestial fiends or undead as far as you can see. You're just looking into this thick, dark fog that's comprised of like these tree-sized mushrooms, like thick undergrowth type of vegetation.
Well, shall we keep pressing forward?
Seems like a good idea.
Alright, so you guys press forward into this thick bog, and you're keeping as much as possible to the dry surfaces. But you inevitably find yourself like every now and then wading through this thick muddy bog that clings to your clothing, and it's like making every single step more arduous than the last. And like I said, this is absolutely awful. Every time you disturb the water, there's like clouds of mosquitoes that burst up, and you find yourself like slapping and like, you're really pressing through difficult terrain here at this point. These thick layers of shambling vegetation and dark, murky water filled with floating detritus. The sound of these mosquitoes is now starting to fill the air, and their stinging bites making travel somehow even less comfortable than before. So go ahead, make another con save throw for me. That is everyone.
Dirty 20.
Oh, hang on, that was charisma. Same one.
9.
And I was going to say, Thrash, you have to do this with disadvantage as well. But I wouldn't worry about it.
One anyway.
But I wouldn't worry about it because you got a natural 1. Okay, no worries. Let me just write this down.
And Crash gets malaria.
So,
Might be able to sort that out in a level or two.
Korak
I just
and...
need access to second level spell slots.
Oh, so helpful. Thank you. So looking forward to that being fixed in a level or two. If this is how Thrash dies, if this is how she goes with disease, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get access to lesser restoration with.
Alright.
If we had a paladin with lay on hands, they could use 5 points of that lay on hands to cure a disease. Do we have a paladin?
You're fine for the time being.
We have a
Korax
Palabard.
and Thrash. But let me know in 4 days.
Oh my god, no.
So I'll try and keep that in mind. In 4 days, something is going to happen to you guys. But for the time being, you're pushing through this like murky swamp. But Lady Aethera, as you're sort of leading the party, you can hear ahead of you what sounds like, I don't know, what is that? Maybe a fire? You can hear like crackling. What do you do?
Gonna tell everyone that there might be someone ahead, and I'm gonna grab Jim Jar, and we're gonna sneak ahead like the sneaky snakes we are.
You're gonna sneak ahead.
What's your stealth check?
You don't. What? Who knows?
No, I mean your modifier. I'm just wondering if it's like.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's what we like to call metagaming.
Alright, well Patch will probably sneak up ahead of he can be pretty.
Alright. Talk to me about it. Who's sneaking up ahead? Patch,
22 for Patch.
Aethera, and Jimjar.
I'll come.
Let's get a roll from Jimjar.
Can Thrash come too?
Yeah, if you want to. Unless someone tells you not to.
Everyone
I'll come. Everyone's coming. I'll come.
I got a 7.
Yeah, but you already rolled it, so.
It's a group stealth. We got a
Group stealth
19
is
from
good.
Jinjar. We have a Patch with 22, Aethera with a 7, and Korax, you're going too. Everyone's going.
Yeah, I
Is
got
Patch actually the stealthiest person in the party?
11.
He is too. Patch is the stealthiest person in the party.
You know what?
No, Jim Jar's probably got you.
You guys start to move ahead into the vegetation, and you can see Bark sort of standing behind you, and he's pretty much covered in like this boggy mud at this point. And you guys start to sneak ahead here. You look back and you see Bark just sort of standing there, not knowing really what to do.
Bark. It's okay, buddy. Is he stuck or is he just not
He's
feeling
struggling through the mud, but he's okay. He's still moving.
good? Okay.
But he's just not sure what's happening, what's going on.
It's okay, Bark. We got it. Shh. Give him like I would have trained him to know that means we got to be quiet. But let's go. Come on.
Alrighty.
It's okay. Give him a scritch behind the ears to,
He comes up to you, allows you to scratch him behind the ears. And he sort of shakes, trying to get some of the mud off of him. But he follows along behind you, and you can hear like every single footstep, like as he struggles his way through the mud. And unfortunately, a couple of low rolls have made you guys a little bit louder than you probably wanted to be. Aethera, you reach the edge of what appears to be a clearing in this vegetation, and you look into the clearing, and you can see there's like a small fireplace just on the ground. It's just sort of crackling, and like hunched down on his haunches, there's like what appears to be a 6 foot tall lizard-like humanoid. It's like shirtless, and he's hunched over this campfire. Has like a fin on its head that like features like this dull faded sort of coloration, and it's sort of limply hanging over to one side. And you can see that he has like a long tail which is sort of resting down behind him. You can see the end of the tail, and it's flicking from side to side. Sort of gives you the impression that maybe you weren't quite as stealthy and quiet as you wanted to be, because he's also just like looking straight at you as you approach. What do you want to do? He doesn't say anything, he's just like looking.
G'day. How are you going? I say in Undercommon. Underdark. Undercommon?
Yeah, undercommon.
Let's unhide that guy. And let's have a look at this. Give me 1 second here while I look at
Oh, it's a
couple
lizard
of
folk.
things. He just looks at you. He doesn't do anything. He's just like crouched down next to this fire, and he's just looking at you with these weird vertical slit eyes.
Well, we're just passing through, so we'll leave you to it, friend.
And he says something back to you. Does anyone here? What does everyone speak?
Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Druidic, Elvish, Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And common.
Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Nope.
Common and uncommon.
He's speaking lizard folk, isn't he?
You just hear him say some words that you don't understand. It's like, Husam, steer.
Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to pull out my spellbook and cast Comprehend Languages.
Ah.
Parcel time.
All right. So, talk to me about comprehend languages. Obviously, you can speak and read this other language and understand it. How does it look like casting the spell?
I just do some sigils in the air, and then I hold on. The duration, understand literally anyway.
Isn't comprehend languages only?
You can only usually read it. You can't speak it.
No, it's
You can
because it says
understand
any spoken language you
Okay.
hear. Yeah, so I'll sort of cast it, make some sigils in the air, and then I'll like some shadow just engulfs it, and yeah, I can understand what he is saying.
As you're doing that, he stands up all of a sudden and reaches down towards his hip, where hanging on a belt, he draws forth like this curved dagger that appears to be made from what appears to be like a tooth or bone or something like that, and he holds it up as you're casting the spell. As you're finished casting the spell and he doesn't see anything sort of happen, he speaks again, and he's like, now you understand it. But only you, Athera, understand this, so do keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. He looks at you and he's like, what are you? Why are you here?
Does comprehend languages let you also speak them?
No.
How do we?
I'm gonna say point to my eye, and then point to my chest, and then point to my ears and show him my ears. And then I'm gonna get out one of the good berries and hold it out in my hand flat as like a take it.
How close are you to him at this point? I
haven't moved any closer. So just like wherever I am, I'm just going to hold it out.
Alright, roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh boy.
Can I also, while this is happening, make a nature check to see if I can think of any, know what these folk might
13.
13.
both be like, and what languages they might understand at least.
You want to roll a nature check for understanding what exactly? What he's speaking?
Knowing what language it might understand.
Yeah.
And a general idea of whether the creatures are generally hostile or generally, can be conversed with or not.
I like it. Roll a knowledge nature check. Let's see what you know about this son.
Natural 20, motherfucker.
Natural 20.
Plus 4, 24.
Alright. I can give you a fair bit of information for that. Yeah, this is, as was called out before, this is in fact a lizard folk. Now, you know that traditionally lizard folk can only speak Draconic. So the language that he is speaking is in fact Draconic. I'll give you a little bit more information. Lizard folk are known as being tribal in nature. Their society is tribal in nature and almost entirely focused on survival. They don't have any use for arts or esoteric knowledge of any sort. It's just about eating, breeding, and continuing on. That's all they're really focused on. But they do have religion, which they're quite devoted to, and obviously traditions that keep their society alive. And you do know that they can be hostile, obviously, if provoked, but they're also very, very pragmatic, to the point where if you were dying, if he found you dying, they would probably take your stuff and eat you. But if you appeared to be a threat and could potentially hurt him, they won't have anything to do with you. You know what I mean? They don't care. If they were guiding you and you died, for instance, they would eat you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't make any threatening moves. The food's a good idea. Do we have any more food? Because it may not see the berries as being a sustaining meal is all I'm thinking.
He looks towards the berry in Athera's hand, and he makes like a dismissive gesture with his hand, and you hear him say, Athera, I have no use for your baubles. Leave me be.
Sounds good. Let's go, guys.
Okay, let's go and just sort of move around.
Okay, you guys keep your distance.
Or we could just kill him and take his stuff.
I mean, no. Why? That's not very nice. He's not hurting us. We don't need to hurt it.
Alright, so you're moving around, skirting around him, or is Athera going to attack?
Nah.
No?
Yeah, have a go.
And as you guys are moving around, sort of keeping your distance, you can see as he just watches you go by, still holding that tooth dagger in his hands. And as you guys sort of disappear back into the undergrowth, you can hear the sound of that crackling fire fading into the background. Now I'm going to need a survival check to see how well you guys can navigate through this.
Okay, plus
Fog.
6. Oh fuck, natural 1.
Alright, anyone else?
3.
3?
Nice.
I got a
Was it
nat 1 and
survival?
still got higher than that. Yeah. Oh jeez.
9.
Oh no.
It's alright.
Am I the
I've
only
got
one
you
that's
guys.
proficient?
Athera's all over it. She is all over it. Gully's got this.
As you guys move deeper and deeper into this dark, boggy swamp, what is everyone's passive perception? Can I know everyone's passive perception real quick?
14.
14?
11.
11?
13, but
12.
I have a tabaxi thing, so I have to just triple check because
and this whole area is sort of in dim light. There's sort of like some bioluminescent mushrooms and shit like that. So just keep in mind that as long as we're
Okay.
in this biome, we're in dim light. So
13.
so Thrash
300-foot dark vision.
and you, Patch, you feel like you can see like a little bit of light somewhere off towards the right. Just like in between the boughs of these mushrooms, you could see like this white light as you're traveling through this bog.
Is it still or moving?
Kind of hard to tell.
Hey guys, there's something over that way. And Patch will point in the direction of the light.
Can see it. Should we investigate or just let the light be?
Let's wait and see if it moves.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Ooh, 11.
11. Alright.
Oh my, I'm rolling so bad. That is a 7.
7.
7.
7 and an 11. What else did we get?
7, 11.
7, 11. Does anyone else want to have a look?
Of course. 22. Natural
Thank
3.
God.
Oh, the gods, man, you are rolling like a boss tonight. What is going on? How'd you weigh your digital dice? How does that work?
I'm a god, and I will be unkillable.
Thea is the real MVP of this session, let's be honest.
Etheria dies in the next half an hour.
Oh, could you imagine?
Ethera, you see this light, and sort of it moves through the boughs a little bit, and then blinks out.
Stop! I know what this is. I'm so excited right now. If this is what I think it is, I'm gonna keel over and die. In excitement. I mean, Thrash, she's superstitious. Can I roll to see if I think what it is?
If you think what it is, go ahead and roll me. I'm gonna say a. Give me 1 second while I have a look. Ooh, what are you gonna need to roll? I know
what this is.
Could I go for nature just to see if there's that? No.
Give me religion.
Ooh, okay. I'm not so good at this, but 5.
Come on, big money. 17.
17. Tell me a little bit about your past. What have you done? Where have you been? Thrash. Give me something to work with here.
Well, I mean, she obviously after that whole thing with the parents, she was kicked out of that little town. And she moved to Neverwinter. She somehow ended up there. Was like living on the streets. The whole thing with her family happened when she was like 8. So she was living on the streets until she was like 13. And then she was taken in by the Blood Axes around then and sort of trained. And then she became like moved up the ranks really slowly and like sort of became like, I guess, a corporal. And yeah, she's like one of their like head, I guess, board members, I suppose.
When you guys were away on a contract down towards, let me think, towards the south of Neverwinter, there's an area. What's it called? Give me 1 second. I could probably look this up. The Mere of Dead Men. You guys had to go past the Mere of Dead Men on your way further south. And one of your friends in the Blood Axes, as you were passing the Mere, was on your right-hand side, on the right-hand side of the road. One of your compatriots, your dwarven compatriots, pulls you to the side and he's like, Rush, listen to me. No matter what happens, you don't go in there. Don't go into the Mere of Dead Men. It's an evil place. It's a long, long time ago. There was an empire there that came to a terrible and tragic end. You know, there's stories that the place is haunted by the spirits of the dead. And sometimes they manifest themselves as lights that try to lure you to your death. You see a light, you don't go towards it. You go the other way. That's what you get from that.
Okay, so
Thrash.
Thrash instantly stops. And she's like, yeah, no. Nah, we're not.
No.
That's not happening. We're not going in there.
Why not?
Okay.
Look, I know this is probably a little bit out of character, but there's dead people in there, you know, ghosts and stuff, and I make it a thing not to go after dead things because you can't really kill dead things.
Of course you can.
And you can't kill it.
Look, we wouldn't want you to get
Flavor.
your pretty little claws dirty, and I'll start trudging forward.
I'll
No,
follow
no,
briefly
don't go,
after
don't
him.
go.
Briskly after him.
And Thrash will turn to Patch and she'll say there are legends that there are ghosts that turn into lights, and if you follow them then you die. So this is going to be a great adventure. And she'll just pull out her axe and head straight after them.
Let's go to the map here, ladies and gentlemen. Corax, stop
Alright.
it. Get back over there. Corax just runs off.
I'm off.
So, alright, so for those people... Alright, the theory's gone. For those people who are listening at home, they find themselves in an area just completely surrounded by these like massive tree-like mushrooms. Tree-sized mushrooms, I should say. And all of the undergrowth is just tangled with these thorny vines and like bushes that are like knotted and tangled into like almost impenetrable vegetation and undergrowth. And that's where you find yourself. You find yourself in a 15-foot wide sort of clearing that travels towards the north before it bends like an S-bend to the left and then to the right. And there's a 5-foot wide opening towards the east. And there's also a 5-foot wide opening towards the west.
Alright, what I might do, since these two have already sort of like kicked off inside, I'll just reach over and put a hand on Thrash's shoulder, and just be like, I guess we better go after them. And I will use, where did it go? Here's somewhere. Vigilant Blessing. As an action, you give one creature you touch, including possibly yourself, advantage on the next initiative makes. Benefit ends immediately after the roller if you use this feature. So Thrash, you have advantage on your next initiative roll.
Sweet.
And I can do that as many times as I like. I only do it for one person. So that's that. I'll ready my shield. And then I might recast Shield of Faith on myself before we advance.
By the way,
That last. Oh no, yeah, no, I won't.
viewers at home, if you like the look of this map, this is a Crit and Miss original.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so if you want to get your hands on this map, keep your eyes open on our Facebook page or Discord and all that kind of stuff, or when we get to announcing our Patreon sometime in the future, and these maps will all be included in the Patreon. So there you go. All right.
All right.
How do you guys want to proceed?
Yeah, I'm just axe in the right hand and just walking forward, sludging through it.
Korax taking the lead, followed by Lady Aethera, Patch Thrash, and Bark.
Shield at the ready. My star map in the other hand.
And you can see Bark, he's like, he can sense the tension. His head's like low and his tail's like sort of in between his legs as he's sort of trudging through this thick bog.
And Patch will turn around and nod to Bart because let me just check this other thing that I've got. Yep, so I can, without spells, communicate with, though not understand, beasts and plants and have advantage on charisma checks to influence them. Speech of beast and leaf. Is the ability for that. I can send... can I send that through? No, I won't. And so I'll just tell Bark, just like we practiced, buddy. Stay back, be safe. We'll see what's going on.
He whimpers as he sticks, like he's almost, when he's walking, sort of rubbing up against your leg as you walk, sort of like a toddler, not giving you any personal space.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Jimjar's sort of got his bow drawn, even though I haven't put him on the map at all. I always forget about Jimjar. Let's
Jimjar.
Let's add him. You guys turn around, Jimjar's just gone.
Reminds me of Kettle Steam from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight on the Viva La Dirt League campaign. It's only just started, like, actually being kind of useful, where she's gotten her powers back, and the party member, like, all of them completely forget she's even there every.
Yes, there will be personal pictures and videos of Rami and Toby on the Patreon. For the $5 tier, you can get pictures of Toby. At the $10 tier, you get pictures of Rami, and for the $15 Patreon tier, you can get photos of them together in a very intimate photo shoot. So
It's true. True.
All right, reveal. You can probably see a little bit more. You can see out of there. So, Korax.
Maybe in like you know how in like Japan idols you can buy idol books that have just got all photos, and they bring out like series of books. We can just have like a Toby one and a Rami one.
Yes, like coffee
yes.
table books. Yeah.
Just so you know, Sven, the only thing that's stopping me seeing anything on this map is line of sight. My dark vision is stupid.
Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty much just assuming everyone can see everything, so I'm just I'm revealing what you can see line of sight wise. So
cool.
Off towards the east, you can see that 5-foot wide corridor continues for another 50 or so feet before it branches or turns towards the north. And on the west side, you can see that 5-foot wide opening opens up to a much broader opening. About 60 feet, but it does descend into what appears to be that like murky, gross looking water.
Nope.
Alright.
We're moving straight up by the look of it. So, Athera, are you going to move up? Or am I going to...
God, yeah, let's do it.
Alright, I'll reveal a little bit more. Another little polygon reveal. There you go, I'll just give you guys that. So you can see that this passageway that you're following now continues on for another 45 or so feet towards the north, where it also descends into what appears to be that boggy sort of water, but it also curves towards the east in a 10-foot wide sort of opening, so to speak.
What about off to the left of where Korax is there? Is that another opening, or...?
No, so that's more of that really thick undergrowth. Yeah. But I will say, if you want to make a like a athletics check, try and push through the undergrowth or something like that, then that's a possibility. But it could have statistical things tied to it, or mechanical things tied to that. So.
Yep. Leave that up to those taking the lead. Pat's is just following up, ready to heal people.
Yeah.
Axe in one hand, just trudging along. Unless someone catches my eye, I'm just going to be heading forward.
Oops.
Trudging along.
And Korax, as you get to where you are, you see again towards the north, on the other side of that, what appears to be that waterway. Again, it's very faint. You can see like that dim light sort of passing through the boughs, and it flickers and then goes out.
Just swap the axe from one hand to two hands and then just keep trudging along, keeping an eye in that direction, but still going.
So that was coming from over this general direction.
Oh, what happened?
Thrash does a running leap and jumps straight across the river over the top of the boughs in a
Just
show of acrobatics that you've never seen in your entire life.
I don't even know what happened.
Alright, let's reveal. Let's do another little poly reveal over here. Alright, so over towards the east of you, you can see that 10-foot wide corridor, or opening, sort of opens up into a sort of wider sort of section, and you can see that it ends on what appears to be a cavern wall towards the east. Over there. What do you want to do?
Just gonna cut off a bit of like bramble on the ground here and then just like kind of toss it into the middle of the water and see if anything reacts by me disturbing the water.
Okay. So you lean down and you take the head of your axe and you sort of chop away at like one of the roots that's sort of like jutting out from the ground. You stand up and you go to throw this. What is everyone else doing while this happens?
Holding an action to cast Eldritch Blast on a enemy if it should appear and retaliate.
Doing the same with Guiding Bolt.
Moving more up towards the water and ready to thwack anything that comes out.
Alright. Korax, you get that piece of wood and you toss it and it lands in the water, and as it does, it just kicks up this absolute cloud of mosquitoes. Bzzz, and I've got a thing for this. They just burst up and into the air and they just surround you guys, and you're like whacking your neck and all the exposed bits of your skin as they're buzzing around you. And you look up and you can see in this cloud of mosquitoes coming out from the undergrowth are these 5 what appears to be like a cross between like a mosquito and a bat. It's got like these leathery bat-like wings, this long like hairy body with this proboscis that like juts out from its face, and they fly up and into this cloud of mosquitoes. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time tonight, roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Alright, don't forget your advantage, Thrash.
I'm so excited.
15.
Oh yes. 23.
Alright. Let me know what they are when I get back. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Oof.
I know what they are. Kill them. Kill them quickly.
Ouchie ouchie. What are they?
Oh,
We're not metagaming, but they look interesting.
Yeah, I like Patch probably doesn't know what they are, but we're lucky we can see them. Put it that way. Zell, you know all about these guys. If you're still there in the chat. Mystery fucking damage from nowhere in our game. Just saying, completely metagaming here. There might be more of them.
I just love how you guys have a fan club already, and when like literally like what are we like 5 episodes in?
Right.
What are we laughing about?
Oh, this is like 8 or 9 now.
I'm just saying we.
It's just one incredibly horny person.
Haven't even hit our 10th session already, and fan club.
I love it. Goldilocks. You are such a vibe. I love.
Alright, let's have a look here. let's roll for Jimjar. Let's add you to the combat tracker. Let's add my creatures to the combat tracker. Those ones and these ones. And one that I'm forgetting here.
Told you there was going to be more.
Where are you?
I'm blanking on the name of these things, but something like a streak, something.
They look so fluffy. I love them.
Yeah, they're very bitey.
Put you over there, and
Hey.
let's give you a thing, a picture, so everyone can see what we're dealing with here. That one. Copy that. Token adjustments. There you go. All right. So
That.
5 of these creatures come flying out. These are like small creatures with like leathery bat-like wings, as I described earlier, and like these long proboscis, and like these like weird insect-like legs, 6 of them that end in these like pincered like claws. And I'll send that image to the game log so you can guys have a look what they look like. They look like a mix between a weird, gross bat and a giant mosquito, for all intents and purposes. And in the center there is a swarm of mosquitoes. All right, there we go. Let me just quickly look up a stat block here. I'll need that. Where did I find that? Found it somewhere. Here we are. 15 AC and...
They're not quite as cute as I thought they were now that I have a picture.
Yeah, alright, cool. Yes, that's what you see at this point. And starting off, top of round 1, of course, Thrash the Troublesome. You see these mosquitoes burst forth from the water, and entering this cloud of mosquitoes, you see these 5 other creatures like burst out of the undergrowth. What do you want to do?
I believe Remy and I had held actions.
Eldritch
you did.
Blast.
Eldritch Blast, alright.
We all did.
And Guiding Bolt.
Eldritch Blast, Guiding Bolt. I don't know which one of these things came out first, so I'm just going to let you choose what you want to attack.
Remy said it first, so he can...
I'll just go this
you give me
little-
the creatures.
This little fluffy one here next to me. Can you see my ruler?
No.
No. This one here. Come on.
Press and hold on it. When I double click. Yep, there you go.
So the one in the bottom right-hand corner. Alright.
With an Eldritch Blast for 22 to hit
Yep, that hits.
for 9 damage.
And this thing just explodes into this black icon. Just showers into the water. You can see it like fall into the stagnant pool of water, and just like bits of it go flying all over the place. All right.
I'm assuming that's the mosquito swarm in the middle.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit that with the Guiding Bolt. Because mosquitoes are a bitch. I can do Guiding Bolt once with my star map. It's part of the ability of that. So Patch will just stand there and point the map forward, and it will start to glow with the light of the stars, and then just shoot forth this bolt of light that will then strike out at the creature. Finding the thing. Guiding Bolt. Where are you? One use. That's a +6 to hit. Rolling that. Natural 20.
Alright.
So that will be 8d6 radiant damage. And whoever attacks it next gets advantage. 32 radiant damage.
32 radiant damage.
Yep.
8d6, and you got 32.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too shabby.
Yeah, that's alright. I can't see all my rolls, but it was like lots of 5s and 6s.
Okay, so you cast Guiding Bolt, and these mosquitoes just burst into flames. And you can see there's still a lot of them there, but they just sort of disperse. Now we go to the top of the round, which is Thrash the Troublesome. You're up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if it pleases the court, I would like to rage.
Okay.
100%.
Thank you. I will... Which one were you hitting?
I should
Mark?
probably decide how high up they are. They're 10 feet high.
I'd smash the mosquitoes.
Okay, right, well, I'll just thwack whatever is closest to me.
How do I make it 10 feet? Elevation, there we go. 10 feet up. Elevation, 10 feet.
Well, this little
Elevation.
friend's probably the closest to me. Sweet, well, I'm gonna attack this friend over here. Did I ping it? Did that do anything? Yeah, okay, sweet.
Double click it.
Alright, move yourself up to it. I'm going to say to attack that one, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage for attacking through the garbage.
If you go reckless, it'll be flat. Yay,
Yeah, it's all good. I will just hit it. I get two. Do I get 2 attacks?
Yeah.
No, we're level 3.
Oh, no, not yet. Yeah,
No.
we're on level.
Oh, it's disappointing.
You will
That's
eventually.
okay. One day. Oh, nat 1. Make it go away.
Alrighty then. A natural 1! I love it.
Does
I
a
love a
6
natural
hit?
1. Roll a d4.
Why am I rolling a d4?
You rolled a nat 1 trying to hit it through brambles.
I got a 4.
You take 4 points of slashing damage as you force your way through these thick, thorny brambles.
2 points of slashing
2
damage.
points of slashing damage as you force your way through these thick, thorny brambles. You have to actually take like a running leap just to try and get at this thing, and as you come down, you land like in these brambles, and they cut deep. You're not wearing any armor, so it just makes it all the worse. All right, anything else?
No.
Nope. Alrighty then. Which one are you? Oops.
I did great, guys.
There you are. Alright, that one over there. That's right. 10 feet up. And how far away from its nearest combatant? 20 feet. This thing just flies straight at Korax. Now, let's have a quick look at this stat block. Does a natural 20 hit you, Korax?
Oh no.
No, that misses.
Okay, we'll just move on then. So natural 20. That's great. That gives me something to do. Crit damage. All right, not too bad. So you're going to take 8 points of piercing damage as this creature just flies over to you. It latches onto you with its claw, like hook-like claws, and just sinks this long proboscis. It's like a really long needle for all intents and purposes, and it just like sinks into your neck as it like grapples onto you, and it is now attached to you. Okay. All right. Cool. That's fun. It's Jim Jar's turn. Doesn't someone want to take over Jim Jar?
I usually do, but I can share the love if someone else would like to.
If you'd like to, go right ahead.
Let
can
me
you give me Jim Jar's stats?
Yes. Let's have a look here. Take options. Player accessible stats. Show name. There you go.
Alrighty. I should be able to open the stack. There we go. Nice. He's going to use a bonus action to hide first because he's a sneaky boy. As he darts under this thing here.
We're getting more people into this now, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Very well from Toby as
For
well.
a 12.
Let's just have a look here. Well, these creatures don't seem to be tracking him at this point, so...
Alright, wicked. Well, then I'm going to shoot this one on our very paladin friend here.
Yep. I'm
Yep.
going to give it a +2 to its AC for being attached to him. Essentially, like half cover, so to speak. So an 11 to
11.
hit. Ooh, let me have a look. That is a miss, unfortunately. That shot flies wide.
Oh, he's just going to stay where he is, and that will be his turn. Thank you.
All right. Patch, you're up. You see one of these creatures has attached itself to one of your allies.
Alright. Let me just check the wording in this. Yep, okay. Groovy. Probably do that one. Cutting time, yeah, sweet. Alright, so Patch will move up to Nya. Briefly instructing Bark to stay back. And then he will
Roll
cast...
an animal handling for that one for me.
Okay. 4, but I have advantage on these checks because it's a charisma. Oh, it's wisdom, motherfucker. Never mind.
You know what? It's your dog. You still get advantage on it.
Wait. 16.
Okay. He seems to be staying back for the time being.
Cool. And then
Speaking of which, I should add him to the combat tracker.
Yeah, that might help. Alright, so and then I will hold my shield out in front of me, which has got the symbol of Talos Ren emblazoned into it, and speak a word in, let's say, Druidic. Just a simple word.
What does it sound like?
And it is sort of like an equivalent of light, fire, something like that. And I'm going to cast Word of Radiance. Burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Take 1 radiant damage. Range is B. So that little guy that's on Korax's neck, without getting any cover, con save, please.
Constitution saving throw. 11.
Not good enough. So D6 radiant.
Save your D6 radiant. Or unless
4 damage.
the thing bursts into flames while still attached to Korax. But it's alright. It does. Yeah, you see suddenly these radiant flames just burst out from this creature's form, and you can see it just like it shudders as it falls down to the ground and burns into ash.
Epic.
Next. Unless there's something else you want to do?
No, I'm going to brace there. My bonus action stuff is probably not stuff I want to do at the moment. Don't need to spend the spell slots or the wild shapes. I'm good.
All right. Let's roll a dice here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you're in range. 35 feet. Let's have a look. Got a flying speed of... Where are you? 40 feet. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Thrash 1, Korax 2, Patch 3, Aethera 4. Let's roll a d4.
Bring it on.
3. So coming at you, Patch. This thing flies over towards you, and it's going to do the same
Bring it
thing to you. So 15 to hit is going to be a miss, isn't it?
I do believe so.
Looks like you've got a AC of 18 there.
Yeah, that
Did,
sounds right. Yes.
Did that thing fly past me to get like an opportunity attack?
No, it just flew straight over
overhead.
towards Patch. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so that's now at elevation 5, and now it's going to be that one's turn, which is just going to attack you, Thrash. Since it's a small creature, it's not going to be a disadvantage. 17. Got a hit. 15 AC, I think.
Yeah, hits.
All right. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay, what's
So
that?
half that. 4.
Thank you, my math is horrific.
And now this thing attaches itself to you, ready to drain your blood over the next couple of rounds, if you survive that
Sure.
long. Next up is Bark. Bark sort of Bark presses himself as low as he can to the ground, sort of thing, having been told to stay. And he'll take the dodge action for the time being, and then we go to Korax. Korax, you are up. -2 to hit this thing as it's attached.
Is it in my neck still?
No, the one that one was knocked off of you by Patch, but there's another one attached to Thrash, and there's one actually that's flying right next to Patch at the moment. It's not attached to you, is it? No, because it missed you, so
No,
it's not
yeah,
attached.
missed.
So no -2 for that one.
I'll go up to the one next to Patch, move over to him, and then just like unarmed strike, just attempt to go out and just try and pop it, to grab it and pop it.
All right, roll us that
Squish
unarmed
this little
strike.
bug. For 14 hit.
14 is just a hit.
He just takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
5 points of slashing damage is enough to kill it.
Just grab it and pop all the blood out of it and just throw it on the ground.
All right, and it dies, but you should be there.
A couple squares back.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, good. Wait, this is not updating. Bear with me for 1 second while I fix the player screen.
Goldilocks.
Seems to have frozen.
Oh my god. You're like a chat spray battle.
There we go. That's better. Alrighty. Just so you know, guys, these comments are now shared on screen, so they're going to be immortalized forever on YouTube as well. So do keep that in mind. End of Korax's turn, and it will be Lady Athera Westington's turn.
Alrighty. Well, doesn't seem to be much left. So I will just move up to here and shoot this one here on the right with an Eldritch Blast.
Alright.
Bam.
Give it a
Hayat for a 15 to hit.
15 to hit is going to be a hit.
4. Oh,
And it
not a lot of
dies.
damage. 6 damage.
You pop another one, and more of that black ichor spills into the sludgy, mosquito-infested water.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, Thrash, are you right over there, or do you need a hand, love?
I can do this all by myself, and she'll just start like clawing at it. Like, I can fix it. I'll fix it on my own.
Okay.
I'll BRB. I gotta go to the little druid's room.
Are you sure? Alright.
Yes.
We'll wait until he gets back. In the meantime, let's talk about some of the channel supporters. Let's give a couple of shout-outs while we wait for Patch to return to us. Let's of course give a huge shout-out to our good friends over at the Valiant Odyssey. The Valiant Odyssey podcast, of course, is available everywhere where you can get awesome podcasts from. Also, they've moved into doing Twitch streams. They have the Wasonia files, they have their mod run, and they have Between the Sheets, where they sit down and talk to other content creators about all kinds of things like ranking subclasses and all that kind of fun stuff. Of course, I am a player in the Wasonia Files, which is every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Want to give a huge shout out to Froth's Minis, best minis in the whole country, guys. If you want to get your hands on some cool minis like this little beholder guy that I have sitting in front of me right here, make sure you check them out. He also does mini painting streams on Twitch, so make sure you check that out as well. You should also check out Hermes D&D services for all your professional Dungeons and Dragons needs. They are located down in Brisbane, in Queensland, Australia. So if you're down that way and you would like to hire a professional DM, make sure you hit up Christian. Tell him I sent you. Cool guy, great DM, a lot of fun, and he's been a part of a couple of our streams as well. So if you want to check out what he's like as a player, check out Hermes D&D services, or check out some of our previous streams. What was he on? He was on 50 Shades of Grey, Matter, and our very first stream here on the channel, Amongst Shadows and Stone. But yeah, that's not my best stream, not gonna lie. He's really going off in the chat. What else do I want to say? If you're in the Townsville region, you need to check out the Townsville Tabletop Guild. There you go. They run all kinds of tabletop role-playing games, not just Dungeons and Dragons. They roll Call of Cthulhu. But Grace, why don't you tell everyone about the Townsville Tabletop Guild? You got more experience than I do there.
It is almost every single night of the week, which is fantabulous. If you're just looking for something to do. So on Mondays, it's usually Vampire. I think that's a closed campaign at the moment. There's Call of Cthulhu running at the moment. On Wednesdays, it's board game night and Warhammer, which is always lots of fun. And then Fridays is campaign night. We've got some really interesting things going on there. I'm playing actually the backup character for Out of the Abyss. I'm using in one of the campaigns we're playing there on Friday night, which is lots of fun. And then on Saturdays, we have an Everything Goes night, which is always lots of fun. So we can just come in, do a couple one-shots or whatever, anyone's really vibing. It's a really fantastic space. It's actually where I got started with my D&D journey, I guess, and I have loved every single second of it. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
I love, yeah.
They're great. They're great. Of course, Alicia runs our Call of Cthulhu stream, Shadows of Despair, a limited run adventure. Oh, he is back, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
Sorry. I was getting distracted by the chat.
It is quite distracting. I try not to look at it anymore. Yeah. Otherwise I won't be able to DM. So, there's one of these creatures left, and it's attached itself to Thrash. And Thrash, you've got your axe in one hand, and with the other hand you're like trying to push this thing off of you, but it's like weird claw, like hook-like claws rather, like sunk into your clothes, and you're pushing it and you're pushing it. You can hear like your clothes tearing as like this needle-like proboscis is just trying to like jam its way into your eyeball, and it's like trying to force itself forward. And as that happens, you hear bark, and you look back towards bark, and you can see that light that you saw earlier appear behind Bark. It's sort of like this bright white bluish light, and it's sort of like flickering.
Nothing touches my dog. It is so dead.
And
It's
like
on the combat tracker.
flickering and fading, and think like a headlight passing through the trees. You see it like move into view.
Bark's face is just absolutely face.
And that's where we're gonna finish tonight's session, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
You now understand what it's like to be a druid and have a companion and have Sven come for that companion on a continuous basis. You now understand. You get it now.
So, for those people listening at home, we have Patch, Korax, Lady Aethera, and Thrash the Troublesome all pretty much lined up at the front. Just behind them, about 10 feet towards the south and east, is Jimjar trying to hide underneath a mushroom, and 10 feet to the southwest of him is Bark. Now, Bark is standing in front of a 10-foot wide opening, and this light, this flickering light, has just appeared in that opening, making its way towards Bark. And that is where tonight's episode comes to a conclusion. If you want to find out what happens next, will Bark survive? Well, I guess you're just going to have to join us for the next episode of Out of the Abyss. What do you reckon, guys? Good times?
Nice.
Bit of roleplay, bit of combat, bit of something extra.
I was having a great time right up until the end.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. 'Cause, that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat until the next episode. Oh, you're not going to make it for the next episode, are you?
No.
Oh, no. Well, I guess we're going to have to think of something else. Well, who knows what we're going to do, guys. If you want to know what happens, keep your eyes on the Facebook. Make sure you... Oh, and now we get a raid. Of course, just as we're finishing the episode, we get a raid. Hey guys, Tabletop Arcade, Wizard Sally, Enigma Uno, thanks for joining us, guys. We're actually just about to end tonight's episode. I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what happens. So this is Out of the Abyss, of course. They're making their way to the Underdark. They've come across what appears to be like a bog-like swamp. And they've come across this murky water, and one of the characters had an idea: chop off a little bit of the undergrowth and throw it into the water. See what happens. A swarm of mosquitoes burst forth from the water, as well as 5 sturges, which attacked everyone all at once. Now, while everyone was distracted with these sturges and mosquitoes, what appears to be some type of disembodied light has appeared behind one of the players' animal companions, and that's where we're finishing up for tonight, guys. Good episode? What do you think?
Fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. I am so glad to finally be back.
Danger.
I've been having a lot of fun playing. Do not get me wrong. The Shadows of Despair has been amazing. Alicia was great. Playing Tales from the Roguelite Tavern with Mark as the DM, that's been amazing as well. But this
Speaking
is
of which,
where
next weekend.
Next weekend, guys, if you want to see some homebrew action, join us for that one. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else, but I've completely forgotten what it was. Oh, make sure you give us a follow as well. I'd really appreciate it. And welcome to the Critverse, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, everybody, and stick with us because we're going to do a raid before we go.
All right.